Prime Minister Marape calls on citizens to venture into SME. ICT Minister says cheap internet is dangerous for the country. And Fox unit training ended today. A very good evening. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. As the unemployment rate continues to rise in the country, Prime Minister James Marape says there is no quick solution to the situation at hand. Marape is appealing to the citizens of this nation to venture into small to medium entrepreneurial program to help sustain their livelihoods.
Prime Minister Marape says his government has already budgeted 200 million kina for SMEs to help the people to venture into small businesses.
The easiest place to create employment is Papua New Guineans doing SME work in our country. And this is why we partner this. I will partner tailored towards helping the small people get out. You look at what we have today, 200 million for, again, SME intervention, and I will have a review in how BSP and NDB is running, so we can spread it to other lenders in our country. Yes. Especially those who will be lending straight.
He assured the people that he will conduct a review to BSP and National Development Bank to support SMEs.
To acquire more land in and around, so we order and live properly in our cities. I don't want my small people to be chased around. So we're putting this money for land access. But part of that will go towards land access in big agricultural estates, the Makam Valley, Ramu Valley, Civic Valleys. So we get our people, so we move into that space.
Marape says not only that, but a total of 150 million kina has also been allocated to acquire lands, and a portion of it will go for agricultural purposes throughout the country. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
A total of 138 elementary teachers from Central Province have attended a 3-day training under the Partnerships for Improving Education Program, or PI. Today was the last day of the workshop and certificates were presented to the participants.
Superintendent Professional under the Division of Education in Central Province, Bill Bahu, says this training program will help the teachers in English lessons.
It's enhancing our teachers to teach English better, but it has been broken down to certain like phonics and reading comprehension, and all these are inbuilt within the Billum books. And it's so helpful, and our teachers, as there is difference according to our survey, results are coming very good.
He says many negative comments have come from parents that children are not able to read after coming out from elementary schools. Hence, this program will help in easing this issue.
The nation complain of some saying children are not able to read when they leave the elementary, but definitely there is change. Our children are becoming, our teachers are now coming, enhancing with these programs. These results are different.
Charles Oaike, who is a head teacher at Bebeo Elementary School in the Kairiku district, says the program has been so helpful to them.
I find that I learned a lot from this training previous years, and this training, it was repeated. They repeated the sounds, and now I'm a bit clear about it. Yeah, especially in letters and sounds in its word.
Another teacher at Papa Elementary School, Jean Posa, shared her experience on what she learned over the last 3 days.
Belong books, the facilitators were very fantastic. The way they were, teaching us the different strategy in teaching children. As elementary, the children are very small, and their understanding and the way they can, learn things are very different. So when they are facilitating us to teach the young children, they're telling us to use different strategies in the different levels, the age group of children. So it's very helpful for us as teachers that it's giving us more ideas on how we can do our best to, impart the knowledge.
The PI program is a partnership between Australian government and the PNG government to be rolled out at time frame of 8 years to improve the learning programs in the education system. Out of the 22 provinces, 4 have been selected to have these programs rolled out, and they are Enga, West Sepik, Central and the Autonomous Region of Bougainville. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Minister for Information and Communication Technology, Timothy Masiu, is concerned about citizen safety when it comes to use of the internet. He said cheap internet is anticipated with danger, especially cyber theft, security and abuse. Minister Masiu made this statement following concerns raised by the general public regarding internet rates.
Maintenance and capital costs for internet infrastructure in PNG are considerably higher than in other countries, although by how much is unclear. One estimate is around 4 to 5 times higher. Complaints have been raised by the public using various platforms on the increasing rates of internet services. Minister for ICT responded to this, highlighting the cheap internet rates can be dangerous for the country.
I understand. For business people, they want the rates to come down. But if I bring the rates right down, then it's not only the business people who are using, there are also other people who are using. And for a young country like Papua New Guinea, and you have all kinds of things being pushed on to internet, it's also very dangerous for us. So I want to be a responsible minister in a responsible government to protect our young children of today. We just celebrated the Safe Internet Day last week, and I will still maintain my stand that internet rates, we should not bring it right down quickly. We should take it step by step and bring it down to a level where it can be affordable and people can have access to it.
Minister Masiu adds that they are working on laws to be put in place.
Laws together. Once we have the laws, we create laws to protect, then we can start to reduce it. But at the moment, we have not. So we're still working on that. It's a process, and I think that the people.
Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
The Fox Unit training for the police officers up in Bomana Police Training College has come to an end today. Officially closing the week-long training was Deputy Commissioner, Police Special Operations Donald Yambasombi in the presence of Assistant Police Commissioner, NCD Central Commander Anthony Wagambi Jr. The training was conducted by the Australian Federal Police. Following the announcement made by ACP Anthony Wagambi Jr. at the beginning of this month, a new concept was aimed at retraining and rebranding the Fox units, where the first lot of 25 men were to undergo training. This week-long training saw the closing of this facilitation today. These Fox Unit police officers were trained by the Australian Federal Police officers. Superintendent Brett Kidner, while addressing the officers, emphasized that their role shapes the attitude of the public. He then spoke on the purpose and outcome of the training.
So use of force talks about the continuum of force that's applied during the arrest of suspects and as part of the investigations, and starts from soft verbal command and discussion with a view of gaining compliance to the application of lethal force. Now, in a professional policing organisation, we actually never want to get to the application of lethal force, but the government provides us the mandate to be able to do so if that is equal and proportional to the threats that are facing the community and to the police officers. So this training is about that entire continuum.
Deputy Commissioner Special Operations Donald Yamasombi stressed on the importance of the training as resourcing skilled police officers that have a duty to serve the people and the country.
Given these circumstances, these situations, how best can we approach? is it necessary to use maximum force? Is it necessary to apply this kind of force? So in what circumstance do you apply what kind of force? So basically that is it. And one thing I also mentioned in there is most of these men have not undergone further training other than when they stepped out the gates of Bomana. And for the first time, this is one training that our partners have come on board to get them back on track to, rejuvenate their thinking and get them back on track to understand that they don't, have the authority to do whatever they want to do, but they owe it to the people. They are here to serve the people, and we owe it to the people of our country.
ACP Wagambi, while giving his address, stressed to the unit that they must be accountable for their own actions while serving the people and the state. Meanwhile, K9 Dog Unit has conducted their training display following a parade today during the first quarterly visit of Assistant Commissioner Police and NCD and Central Commander Anthony Wagambi Jr. up at the Bomana Police Training College in Port Moresby. Also present there was Deputy Commissioner Police Special Operations Donald Yamasombi and the Australian Federal Police. The K9 Dog Unit conducted a parade this morning with the handling of trained police dogs. An interesting display of dog handling and skills witnessed by the ACP Wagambi Jr. and others. The K9 Dog Unit, being specialized in each field, demonstrated this. Deputy Commissioner Police Special Operations Donald Yamasombi spoke about the unit.
We have here, there are about 3 types of them. We have the drug dogs, we have the explosives, and we have the general purpose. The crowd control, like we see in the city, places where too many people are congregating, I think the use of these dogs out there is very, very important. We have used them before and they have become very effective. The purpose of us hosting this parade this morning is purposely to start off from the beginning of the year, to tell them that, this is a vital asset of the organization that is here. And with the support of our PNG APP partners, if we can invest here, I think we can achieve a lot.
Yamasombi also highlighted further plans of the unit.
I'd like to see the handlers give more time to the dogs. The more time they have with their dogs, the more they sharpen them up to listen to the word of command and get engaged in what they're doing and what they're trained for. During the APEC, I think we had a lot of dogs that were trained for explosives, but now most of them are being retrained for general purpose. We have a few, as you have seen today, for explosives and the others for drugs. Going forward, if we are to train new dogs, those are areas, again, we will be embarking on training our personnel-oriented dogs.
More than 40 Papua New Guinea port security officials attended a capacity building seminar on port security audits in Port Moresby recently. This seminar was conducted by the U.S. Coast Guard International Port Security Program representatives with the assistance from the United States Embassy in Port Moresby.
It is understood that the knowledge gained from this seminar will be used by ports around the country to enhance their port security programs, thus enhancing the security of worldwide maritime transportation system. The program was designed to enhance port security capabilities in compliance with the 2004 International Ship and Port Facility Security Code, following recommendations during a U.S. Coast Guard visit in 2019. Key features of the program include providing technical assistance in the following areas: port facility access control in order to enhance the physical protection systems and security capabilities of its port facility, drills and exercise in order to enhance the effective coordination and implementation of the port facility security plans, and physical security and threat risk assessment to enhance the identification of threats, vulnerabilities, capabilities, preparedness, and the existing security measures related to the port. According to the Assistant Secretary for the Maritime Security Division under the PNG Department of Transport, Sylvester Adema, the audit seminar has vastly cleared the minds of all PNG participants on what an ISPS audit is and create flexible pathways easier for the PNG Ministry of Transport to put audit recommendations to respective port facilities. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. History was made today with the National Procurement Commission swearing in the inaugural Kagwa-Erave District Procurement Committee at the NPC Office Tower 1 boardroom today in Port Moresby. The committee was urged to carry out their roles without fear or favor.
A historic moment for the Kagwa-Erave district today, with the National Procurement Commission swearing in 5 members of the NPC board.
To make that use or disclosure.
Lawyer Barre Mall officiated the formal ceremony today and encouraged the members to carry out their work with due diligence.
One thing about this legislation, I also see that it's also just automatically weeds out corruption. I think the last time the chairman of the National Procurement says that the contracts, the districts, they were giving contracts. Before they used to give contracts to any contractors, citizens or non-citizens.
The 6 members that make up the Kagwa-Erave District NPC are Andy Babola, DDA CEO, Yakili Komolo, District Finance Manager, Ezekiel Kipet, Justice, Law and Order Representative, Jethro Onasu, Community Representative, and the only woman on the board, Margaret Awaisa. The National Procurement Commission's Agaru Agarabe welcomed the new members and promised more tailored training will be done to ensure the new committee carries out its responsibilities.
Now we know that now that you have been sworn in as members of the District Procurement Committee, NPC, our responsibility, we have to also train you and upskill you on the procurement guidelines, the procurement process, so that you are familiar on what is required when you are discharging your duties.
NPC CEO Simon Bolle explained that the program and the process manual is to ensure that those responsible adhere to transparent and accountable systems to eliminate possibilities of corruption.
We give the contract to them, like doing roads and building houses and delivery of like science kits or education kits, all these things, just to load them on the truck and distribute to the districts. Some people think that foreigners can do well for us. You be careful with those kind of things.
The Kagwa-Erave DDA CEO Andy Babola thanked the NPC for their efforts in getting the committee together.
It is, I know it is a baby. You made it happen, and then it has gone throughout the country. So I really appreciate it. I acknowledge.
The swearing-in ceremony was concluded with the handing over of the official seal to the Kagwa-Erave National Procurement Committee. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
The Northern Provincial Government has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the National Cultural Commission in a manner to promote and preserve the oral culture and way of life. Northern Province is the 7th province to formally partner with the National Cultural Commission.
The National Cultural Commission is now working with provinces to revive and develop provincial cultural centers with the aim of ensuring each province to have a 5-year provincial cultural development plan. Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, E.C. Henry Leonard, views the partnership as important in promoting the cultures in the province.
Because they are custodians of some very important culture, some very important flora and fauna. The largest butterfly here in Papua New Guinea is found in Oro. And also the unique tapa. Painting and design is from Oro. And not forgetting, let me tell you, one of the iconic tourism products in the country, which is the kokoda.
Member for Ijivitari, David Arore, assured the Cultural Commission that his district will work together with the Northern Provincial Government to see a cultural centre set up in the Tufi LLG of his district.
So it is our district's intention, with the backing up of the Oro Provincial Government, we would like to embark on setting up our Ijivitari District Cultural Centre in Tufi. And we are hoping that we will work on the airstrip, airport with the governor, and we can bring in direct flights from our tourists to come in to the province to participate and to see our culture.
MP Arore further stated that culture adds value and respect in society and youths must be engaged in it. Alluding to what he said, Governor for Northern Gary Jufa also stressed that engaging young people in cultural activities will keep them busy and away from trouble.
In Oro Province, besides the Oro Tourism Bureau, we are embarking on an ambitious project that has already started with re-establishing law and order. You need law and order before not just tourism but any other activities can flourish. And it has been a problem. One of the reasons why is because we have a growing population of youth who are restless and who don't have any other opportunities. And how do we occupy them? Well, tourism and cultural activities is one way to do so.
The Executive Director of the National Cultural Commission, Stephen Kilanda, stated that not only is the Commission concentrating on promoting and preserving culture of provinces, but events like this can be used as a platform to bring in development and services to people. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
A call was made to all provinces in the country to partner with the National Cultural Commission and be involved in promoting and preserving the diverse cultures and traditions of Papua New Guinea. Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, E.C. Henry Leonard, made this call when launching the National Cultural Events Calendar for 2023.
The National Cultural Events Calendar for 2023 was launched yesterday and features only 85 cultural festivals and shows throughout the country. Minister Leonard said there are more cultural festivals out there that need to be captured in the calendar.
To roll out the cultural events and programs, it's everyone's business. It's inclusive. It's not only national function, but it's right down to the provincial governments and even districts. So this is an inclusive thing that we invite everyone's and welcome everyone's participation.
Minister Leonard stated the importance of provinces to partner with NCC. The Commission also launched its annual operational plan to implement the 10-year National Cultural Policy 2022 to 2032.
The Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture views these partnerships important in promoting our cultures in the provinces, where the government will see and invest money in cultural development programs and activities.
The minister congratulated the National Cultural Commission for their efforts to deliver cultural products and services to the people of Papua New Guinea. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
Pregnant women walking or carried on the backs of families to the Sopas Lutheran Health Center at Mabisinda in the Wapenamanda district of Enga province is now a thing of the past, thanks to the project for reusing second-hand ambulance provided by Japan for Enga province.
In PNG, access to healthcare in rural areas is often a struggle, with many families walking miles to the nearest aid post. For many pregnant mothers, the struggle to walk great distances is a challenge. For the women and children in the Mabisinda area of the Wapanamanda district, the labour and struggle is now a thing of the past, thanks to the assistance of the Japanese government in donating an ambulance through its grant assistance program.
The ambulance that was donated to us by the people of Japan through the JICA aid, through our Provincial Health Authority, EPHA. We appreciate that so much because during the interim period, we did not have an ambulance. Most of our ambulances had been broken down. And so it came at a crucial time when we really needed to. Our demand for patient referral was.
The sister in charge of Sopa's clinic said that since the time that the ambulance was delivered, the health post has carried out operations with no major issues.
We see patients from the neighboring provinces as well as all of Enga province. So at the moment, we see like 1,000 patients in a month, outpatients. Then we have about 40 to 50 deliveries in a month. And out of those 40 to 50 deliveries, we do about 10 to 15 referrals in a month to Wabek General Hospital.
As of January 2023, cumulatively 290 grassroots projects funded by the Japanese Grant Assistance Grassroots Program have been implemented through NGOs, local government units, and other non-profit organizations, including hospitals and schools. The total grant projects so far amount to approximately 54.6 million kina, and the assistance does not go unnoticed in communities impacted by the project.
Even though we have made a slight contribution to the improvement of the situation, of the health situation in Enga by this ambulance, but you have used this ambulance donated by Japanese people, have utilized very well, and to even to upgrade the health circumstances in the province.
The Japanese government aids targets areas from the health space to infrastructure and education to ensure improved services in vital areas of development. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
Peace talks are underway in the hopes of quelling the 12-month-long ethnic warfare between 4 ethnic groups from East Sepik who are squatting in Lay's Bumbu settlement. This dialogue is headed by the Morobe Provincial Peace and Good Order Committee, the Lay City Authority, and the Northern Mobile Group from the Royal PNG Constabulary Special Services Division, who are backing up the Chinatown Police of the Lay Metropolitan Police Command, including other government agencies, including the media in Lay.
The clash that began on February last year and heightened in violence on October 9, 2022, following a murder in the area, has seen at least 10 children between the ages of 13 and 18 dead, and over 50 homes burnt to ashes. Families whose homes have been burnt have either fled for their safety or are seeking refuge and shelter at churches within the Bumbu settlement. At least 2 schools and a health center serving the Bumbu community, which is Ward 5 of the Lay Urban LLG, remain closed. Sergeant Tennyson Joseph of the Northern Mobile Group says it is the restricted freedom of movement for women and children that affects their normal livelihood. Sergeant Tennyson says peace and normalcy has been enjoyed in the Bumbu settlement for generations. He adds such violence is basically a show of disrespect for authority. Sergeant Tennyson Joseph says restoring peace and rebuilding people's lives is very costly. The Bumbu ethnic clash is between the Gegerobi, Biwat, Korobu, and Angriman ethnicities residing in Bumbu settlement. So far, at least 3 of the 4 warring factions publicly agreed to a ceasefire. Natasha Ovoy, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2840 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2765 $0.3989 Australian dollars, $0.2517 euro, and 36.60 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copra closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. Ward councillors in Western Highlands Province have been urged to unite and work together for a better Mount Hagen city. Governor Y. Rapa made the call recently in Mount Hagen.
Ward councillors in Western Highlands Province have been urged to unite and work together for a better Mount Hagen city. Governor Y. Rapa made the call recently in Mount Hagen. Governor Rapa encouraged ward councillors, especially those from Mount Hagen Urban LLG, to contribute towards changing the face of the capital city. He urged them to educate their constituents that the city shop fronts and bus stops were not places for starting fights, stealing and lazing around aimlessly.
The town must change now. Previously, all the staff accept you. All of the council below can stop. All the councillors below West Highlands Province, you all the staff accept. Town must come up with plan.
The governor also challenged the City Authority Board to make good use of the 20% GST shared with them by the provincial government, totaling up to 800,000 kina per month. Mount Hagen City Authority CEO Leo Noki said this was a first ever support from the provincial government after many years. He said the city lost public toilets and recreational areas to illegal land grabbers, while rubbish drums never lasted for long as there was no cooperation in the past.
Now we will see changes. Our toilet also increased. No more toilets. And something didn't come up. Over the file from collecting rubbish, sanitation garbage, one house like that.
It is understood that the current changes in Mount Hagen City is due to cooperation between all leaders and stakeholders in order to strengthen public and investor confidence in the booming third largest city in the country. Natasha Ovoy, National EMTV News.
Finance and Planning Minister Rainbow Paita has assured the people of Juaka Province that a proper market facility for them would be looked at. He made this known in a response to the request from North Wagi MP Benjamin Moole recently at Barnes.
Local MP Benjamin Moole used the launching of the European Union-funded WASH project for Barnes as the opportunity to ask for assistance for a proper marketplace for his people. He pointed out the need to Minister Paita, including Defence and Internal Security Minister, who were present to witness the 41 million kina water supply project facilitated by UNICEF. Minister Paita said Barnes is a strategic town with improved coffee production expected to increase the population and corresponding basic needs.
This market, or big business, or normal like making big business, no good. A market like buying coffee, market like working family, market like buying something house. So, some people minister step 2, people 3, people can start location, market blue. Barnes, also a commercial center in Juaka.
The finance minister also presented a check of 5 million kina on behalf of the national government for North Wagi DDA to improve law and order. Groundwork for the water supply project and initial work on setting up a new market. He said the national government through his department would further assist. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
Local level government presidents and ward councillors from Imbongo district in Southern Highlands province have thanked the local MP Pilar Niningi for establishing a business arm for the people. Niningi has been described as a visionary leader in setting up Imbongo District Development Corporation.
James Mbia, president of Lower Mendi local level government, told Minister Niningi that there have been more changes in the district in the last 5 years, and it was fitting that the people made the right decision to return him to Parliament for the second term. Similar sentiments were also shared by presidents of other LLGs. It was pointed out that Imbongo district headquarters now has a police station, banking facility, courthouse and other state department branches getting established within a short period of time. Now with the establishment of IDDC, profit will be invested in health, agriculture, SMEs, sports and other programs as well. This concept has pleased the local leaders who promised to stand behind their local MP. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sport. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Winning coach Raymond Michael, after successfully taking his team to winning 12 consecutive matches in the Hohola off-season rugby league competition, now has big plans moving forward. Michael, who is committed to supporting women in rugby league, says while it is challenging for him, commitment and passion to support the women achieve their dreams is worth helping.
From playing the schoolboys rugby league competition to competing in the National Rugby League Games, other recognized rugby league tournaments around the country, winning coach Raymond Michael has found a passion in sports, and that is coaching. Michael, who participated in the past in a local rugby league off-season tournament, has been coaching the local women's rugby league club called the White House Sisters. With great determination to help support women in sports and the time put into coaching women who follow rugby league religiously, Michael was able to invest time into what he believes is the way forward, not just for him, but to trust and have great confidence in women that they too can compete at a high level if given the opportunity. He said coaching a women's rugby league team is not easy, especially associated to the way of life Papua New Guineans live and the cultural beliefs associated. Michael developed a passion for coaching some 3 years back, and ever since he started training the local women's team, gaining much interest to supporting women in sports after realizing that women, just like men, can also compete in high-level rugby league tournaments if given the opportunity. As an all-female coach, and while responsibilities vary in the club, Raymond said it is tough sometimes, especially coaching an all-female team, but their commitment towards the game has been positive. Michael, a proud coach who has taken his team since the beginning of the competition to winning 12 consecutive matches at the Hohola off-season rugby league competition, says moving forward he would like to coach more teams in the future. Only recently, Michael coached one of the participating teams in the NCD Governors Cup Challenge, the Kombuko Crushers, who took part in the curtain raiser match during the Governors Cup Grand Final Challenge. Currently, Michael has found himself another responsibility, and that is to coach another female team in their preparations as they prepare for the 2023 JT Nines tournament, which is set to take place next week in Kaugere. Godwin Eki, Trukai Sports.
The continuation of AFL PNG's week-long workshop saw the staff conduct their outdoor activities at the Golds Oval today. International Development Manager Bandrew said the workshop is very important for them.
AFL PNG, starting on Monday this week, conducted a week-long workshop in Port Moresby, where AFL PNG officers from around the country flew into Port Moresby to attend the workshop. International Development Manager Bandrew said the training was vital for the staff of AFL PNG and that it was good to see them work in groups. Drew added that while it is important for the staff to understand certain situations from development side of things and the inclusion of people, they must understand the broad range of process from on-field to off-field to administration and the processes involved. Today, AFL PNG, as part of its week-long workshop, conducted their outdoor sessions at the Port Moresby Golds Oval, the home of AFL. Drew added that meanwhile, a team to represent PNG will fly next month to attend a tournament in Australia.
We've got our level 3 under-19s. We've got 12 males and 12 female groups that are heading down to Australia at the start of March. They're going through their process and training here with high performers, but they're kids that are playing all over the country, and we're going to be hosting them in Runaway Bay. There'll be a South Pacific talent camp, and we'll be playing matches against the Gold Coast Suns and the Brisbane Lions talent academies. And again, that program and that pathway is heavily supported by the Australian Government and the Pacific Gulf Sports Program, so we're very thankful to them for their support too.
2023 and 2024 moving ahead are exciting times for AFL PNG and their sponsors. Godwin Eki, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. Moving to overseas sports now. In basketball, the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers had a solid win against the New Zealand Breakers.
That was game 2 of a 3-game series, so 89-78 it finished in the end. So just one win away from their second straight grand final series in just their second year as a club. Pretty incredible stuff. Milton Doyle with 23 points and 5 assists. Jack McVeigh with 16 points. They lost that first game. They played him by 20, so it was a huge turnaround. The third game will be in New Zealand. That will be on Sunday. The Taipans will play the Kings tonight in Cairns. That'll be game 2. The Kings lead that series 1-0 at the moment.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
Now we take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, partly cloudy with possible brief showers. Popondetta, partly cloudy with a shower or two. In Momase region, Lae City, partly cloudy with evening showers. Vanimo, cloudy with some showers and thunderstorms. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, showers easing into cloudy periods. Buka, partly cloudy with brief showers. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, Mendi and Wabeg, cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Friday, the 17th of February 2023. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.